figure out that.
Hey. New day, new time. It's our first show of the year. We've been MIA for, I think, like 3 weeks. It was a nice little holiday break. We've never really done that. It was much needed. I got a lot done. But here we are in 2025. And I'm glad 2024 is over. I always really look forward to a new year with new possibilities and setting out my office and redoing it for that make the new year fresh. I don't know about you or you guys watching, but I'm always excited about what I learned from the previous year and the things that I keep improving upon. And for those watching, as you know, Lucy and I both had got deactivated last year. So we were down and out for like 5 months. And boy, if that wasn't eye-opening and for can you survive if you lost your Amazon? Can you survive? And it can be super scary. And some of you have been deactivated before, maybe a week, maybe a month, maybe like us for many, many months. And backup plans. You guys, the importance of the ability to pivot by selling on eBay, or any other revenue streams you have when you're working from home is so vitally important. I'm so grateful I have those set up and in place because they allowed me to make it through the other side. So here we are in 2025. I did all this rambling so Lucy could catch up with our show notes as we were rushing to join.
I'm still trying. Now I'm trying to pull the screenshots that I took for the show on my Apple. And every time it wants to default to my mother, and then I clicked wrong and sent her the OTP. So then she
has to text you the code.
Even though I trust this device every time.
Yes.
I've been dealing with clients all week, and they are so annoyed with the OTP on.
Yeah, it's very aggravating
for Amazon. And I've had to work with them kind of doing listings. And so we always keep 2 browsers open so that you're working on your listing, and then you go to the other browser and refresh and see if you've been logged out. So that way you can keep your draft going.
Right, and so you don't lose it all. I've been actively working in Amazon and have been logged out while I'm in there actively working and have to relog. It's
exactly maddening. It's like I'm still here. Hello.
Yes. You didn't go anywhere. You see me still clicking buttons. So a quick shout out. Hey, Reno. Hey, Nate and April, both Aprils. And Eminem. Yeah, my hair is super long. I want to cut it. Like look how ridiculous. It's past my girlies. My hair just grows really fast, and I have just procrastinated getting a haircut. Lucy, are you cracking up because I said girlies? Well, look.
I thought you were going to say another word, and then you went with that, and that was funny as well. So,
but you know what? It's polite way of saying tatas. Yeah. So, Nate, I will see you and your wife next week because we have an eBay party that we are both attending here in our town.
Yeah, what's that all about? I wanted to ask you about that.
eBay. Well, so there's a big active eBay group here in our city, and there are 2 gals that are on YouTube that host a lot of the eBay openings and eBay things here in our city. And
the one with pink hair or a different one?
Huh?
The one with pink hair or a different one?
Yeah. That couple.
I can't remember their names. I just knew one of them had pink hair for a long time.
Yeah, Vicky and Katie. And so they are hosting a belated after Christmas party in their home to do a white elephant gift exchange and a potluck with other eBay reseller friends. And so Nate and his wife live here, so they are also friends with them and will be going to the party. And April, I had the pleasure of speaking with you yesterday, and part of our show today is going to be covering the G10 exemption. I'm curious if you tried it, if you want to comment, if you did try that and it worked or not. And I think I got all caught up. And Isabella, I see you. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad you guys are liking the new day and time. We just felt like we also needed a switch up with that too, and thought the weekend would be a really nice time to come hang out here.
Yeah, we I don't want to say we spent a long time like debating on the time frame, but we kind of thought what would be good for viewers, what would be good for us, what would be good for a lot of things. So, yeah. I'm kind of liking this time. I don't know. The only day, because as soon as I said to my husband that we changed it to this day, he's like, "Oh my God, what about football?" And I'm like, "Really, really?" He's
Does he
just the
need you to
only.
watch football with him?
No, I mean sometimes I will. I'll watch the game if it's like on, but the Seahawks have not been very good, so it's been kind of. But I will be out for Super Bowl because I'm going to my friend's place for that. So, um, anyhow, I meant to tell you that when I found that out. But other than that, I think my Sundays are open. It's like because I got wrestling on Saturdays and we have all sorts of things during the week. So
Yeah, mom life, work life balance is hard. Hi,
yeah.
Melissa. Thanks for joining. Melissa says she is so done with eBay and hasn't even started. Did the business account and they applied an MC999 suspension.
What's
I
that?
don't even know what that is. MC999 suspension. You'll have
to
to tell me what that is. I don't even know, but it doesn't sound good. It's with suspension behind it. So I'm sorry to hear that. Getting suspended in your selling accounts. It's truly devastating. And even if it's not your only income stream, if eBay was just my catch-all, like unsold Amazon inventory, and I lost it, even though I didn't depend on it, it just, you feel like you get the rug pulled out from under you.
Yeah. I was suspended once a long time ago for what is it, the Amazon Associates, and it's because I used a URL shortener, and I like tried to get it fixed, and I was denied, and I finally gave up because I wasn't really earning anything. It was one of those little side things that I started one day and wasn't really doing much with. And then a year later, I wrote the most weirdest appeal. I was like, "Hey, it's been a year. I totally didn't know it was a URL. Like I couldn't use a URL shortener. I promise I won't use a URL shortener. Could you please just reactivate me because it's been a year?" And like within 3 hours, I was reactivated. So you just never know. Speaking of which, I did put my link tree. I think it went to both our videos. Just FYI, if you want to edit that later,
Okay.
if you want to put your own links
And so,
in there.
Melissa, as far as your comment here, I guess it's like indefinite suspension and cannot try to reapply. It's so frustrating. I once got deactivated on eBay for something else. It was for some late shipments and I had closed my account down for a while because there was an emergency going on with my family. So in that time frame, I wasn't able to bring that late shipment in the time frame they wanted. So they had deactivated me. I ended up around that same time getting a new router, changed my internet at home just because I did, not because of that. And I reapplied for a different eBay account. I had a whole different IP address and it worked. I'm still selling on eBay. So, because you can have multiple eBay accounts from a house, like I can have one, my husband could have one, my son could have one, unlike Amazon, where you have to get special permissions. So, maybe try to do that. I know Nate and Elizabeth have also had to make a secondary eBay accounts as well. It is possible. So, if you don't want to be done with eBay, I recommend you, trying to open a new account from scratch. While not fun, at least you can have eBay back.
Yeah, I'm finding a lot of, I Googled it really quick, and I am finding a lot of chatter about it. You're going to have to dig through that because that's an interesting one. It says you're both suspended from buying and from selling. So that's kind of crazy pants. That's a big suspension, I said. Anyhow, there's a lot of chatter, so keep Googling, keep looking around. In the meantime, I wanted to dive into kind of my screenshots, I guess, first, to talk about some of those things. We had a lot to talk about. It was pretty good though. I think Tina and I, we both had really good holidays, didn't we?
Yep.
I did. Did you?
I had a great holiday. I really did.
Good. All right. So this first one, let's see here. Amazon and Beyond, they changed their name. I can't remember everybody's name. I wish y'all sometimes wouldn't change names because I get stuck in my whatever name it is for things. But Michelle asked me to post a quick note for everyone from Kenneth. Michelle is the person who helped me with my suspension, right?
Yeah, she's great.
This is her group. So Amazon and Beyond, Amazon to something. I don't know, but the Michelle there, they sent me a letter with like an affiliate link. If you are having trouble with Amazon suspensions, that is my go-to person. I will always be using her from now on. She was amazing, and I cannot tell you much more than that, but I did get an email and I meant to have it prepared. Maybe I'll prepare it later if we're talking, I can pull it up. But Michelle asked to post this. If you have, so this is like 3 days ago, and I think I screenshotted it yesterday, so it might have been 4 days ago as of today. They have their ears to the ground. They know more than
lawyers.
They know more than, like, Ed and her know each other. Like, there was a lot of groups. I got to get a lot of behind the scenes on who's talking to who with what.
Yeah.
She said, if you have a brand on Amazon and you are selling other brands under that private label, that would be like Lucy's Goods, online goods, is selling Visine under the brand Lucy's LLC. Okay, so not under the brand Visine, not brand authorized. This is literally using your brand and selling other branded products. Okay. And you're selling the private label, you need to close those listings ASAP. Similar to the bundling takedowns, there's a wave of sellers having their private label product ASIN disabled. After enough of them are disabled, it creates a deficit in the account health and their account is deactivated. For example, you sell a Hershey's product, not a bundle, but you use your brand, ABC branding, on the listing. The majority of these brands being affected right now are the ones for food items otherwise ingested, examples, supplements and drinks. And if they come into contact with animal skin, hair, etc., like lotion or shampoos. This is huge because we are getting ready for chocolate Easter season. And that would be a good one where you would take a couple different brands of chocolates, maybe some Hershey's, maybe some Skittles, maybe some jelly beans, and put them together under your brand. And that used to be allowed. It is no longer allowed. And you cannot... I would not do that now. If you have your own branded candy or your own branded stuff, or you're sourcing stuff without a name brand, that's private label. That's okay. But doing it under a branded name, not so much. And that's what they're coming after. And the insight that I got is because there was some pressure from brands to Congress, and that's what triggered the big bundling lockdown in summer that Tina and I got wrapped into. And basically Amazon got threatened to be sued, and there might still be some FTC things going on. And so they went through and they did a huge wave of deactivations. And then they had to later backtrack it in August, which, you know what, I'll take my apology from Amazon, even though I'm a little bitter about it. And I'll take it, and we're just going to move on because that's all you can do in life. But if you have those listings, and if you list under those listings, because if you go to the store and you're starting to scan Valentine's and Easter right now, if you see listings that are under the wrong brand, like it's Hershey chocolates and it's under brands Tina's Emporium, don't jump on that listing because you could still get caught up in a violation of some sort. Melissa, by the way, you both look nice. Thank you. Skin on today. It's called I Got a Decent Night's Rest. I didn't. My boys keep making airline appointments at the 6 a.m. flights. And I'm like, guys, you're killing me. You're killing me. All right. Can you please explain Dropbox? I tried to make an account for free, but it wasn't working. I got busy and moved on. Bath and Body receipt to invoice.
Okay. I think she's wanting to store her receipts in Dropbox. Yeah.
You can. Dropbox is like, what's the one from Outlook that I hate? It's called OneDrive. It's kind of like OneDrive, but it links on your phone. You can put the Dropbox on the phone. You can put Dropbox on your computer, and it's just a place to store files. And I do all my scanning when I need to scan like a receipt or something and do a document scan. I use that because a photo is going to take all the colors. Dropbox is going to scan to black and white or a grayscale. So I use that. And then for the Bath and Body Works, I would honestly get your Bath and Body Works sends like 3 emails. 1, we got your order. 2, we've sent your order. And 3, your order is completed. If you take your emails of your order has been completed and you print them to PDF, you could try doing your ungating with that. If not, you just go into your Bath and Body Works account and go to your invoices and then print out the invoices. I don't know how else to kind of explain that. And there's a gajillion how-tos on Dropbox out there. So Moving on, let's see here. This one was from Hustle Buddies. Let's see here. In late October, we were suddenly hard gated for an important brand. I've opened multiple cases, etc. Nothing seemed to work. This is becoming really, really popular. There's going to be, that's what they did. So they went through the bundles and they did a huge sweep of bundles. Then they went through and they started hard gating. So I saw, let's see here, this next slide was this one. They were hard gated in Dove. I thought there was
And for a lot of you out there, all of a sudden we're hard gated in items you've been selling for years, and now all of a sudden you can't sell it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that going on towards the end of the year.
I was hard gated in Legos. You got to keep LOL, didn't you?
I got to keep LOL, which was so funny because there were some things I've been selling for years, like Lego, Fisher-Price, B-Tech, a lot of different toy brands at Christmas. Well, after my deactivation, when I got my account back, I thought I'm probably going to have some punishments. But I mean, I was hard gated in all of these toy brands I've been selling for years. Meanwhile, my friends who didn't get deactivated could still sell these brands. So I thought it was because of my deactivation. But then I went in to try LOL Surprise, the LOL dolls, which most people, who aren't in trouble can't even get invoice. They're not even accepting applications. And I could sell LOL still. There's no rhyme or reason. But then again, thank God I have Walmart, because Walmart allows me to sell a lot of things that Amazon wasn't letting me sell anymore. And then, we still have eBay. So I love, love, love having so many platforms open to me to be able to sell inventory on.
Yeah, agreed. It's interesting. Millennial Money Mom, who is Melissa, right?
Yeah, her name's Melissa.
Thank you. I've been messing up names. I messed up all my daughter's wrestling people's names yesterday, so now I'm really like, anyhow. She says, I like Google Drive the best. Yes, Google Drive is good, but I don't know if you can scan a PDF on Google Drive. I have not tried, just because I think I got Dropbox way back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So it's like the one I know. I got deactivated because of Bath and Body Works too. Of course, the email tells nothing about what is still needed. Ooh.
Andrea, I don't know if you're currently deactivated. I'm assuming you are by this post. I'm curious if you got deactivated of Bath and Body Works because it was a hard gate, or was it a Bath and Body Works like bundle listing that was under a name other than Bath and Body Works? I am curious the details. And if you cannot get to the bottom of getting it activated, please reach out to Lucy, because this girl, Michelle, I kid you, I didn't have to use her. But because, I just didn't have to. That's a long story, I guess. But as many of you know who had been watching us when we were still on Fridays before the holidays, when we were talking about our deactivation, we were in a private group with other deactivated Amazon sellers, all for the bundling policy. There were a couple people in there deactivated, not for bundling, but other things. And no one was getting their account back. Nobody. We all thought we were done forever. Lawyers couldn't get us back. Some of us had different lawyers. Some of us had the same lawyers. Lawyers couldn't get us back. This girl, Michelle, got every single person in that group back. She is brilliant and smart. And she's so get with Lucy to get that information. And I'm sure she can help you.
Yes. So I will, we're going to circle back to that right now, I think. And yeah, definitely get a hold of us, because if I can see what they're asking for and see what you submitted, 9 times out of 10, Tina and I have looked at these enough times that we can right off the bat say what is wrong.
Oh, it's this or that. Yeah, sometimes we definitely know.
She
I'm sorry, Andrea. I know what you're going through. I definitely understand your struggles right now.
She says she's got 2 ASINs that need documentation. All right. Yeah. You can always email resellingmom@gmail.com, or you can message through Facebook and we'll try and give you a help out.
Yeah.
But hold on. Brooklyn says Temu. Nate says Barbie. I'm going to guess that Nate was hard gated in Barbie. And Brooklyn, I'm going to guess that Temu is a place to source Not that you were gated in Temu stuff. I have done a little bit of sourcing with Temu, and I have found that Temu is on Amazon, so it's really hard to source and sell direct items because they're already doing it. They've already listed on there. I can't remember the name of the company, but if I saw it, I'd recognize it. But it is good for bundling stuff. So you can get different items and make custom bundles. It's kind of a little bit more expensive than sourcing from Alibaba, but you can do 5 or 10 items and practice that. I did have trouble sourcing on Temu, finding enough items and restocking items because I had some that sold really well. You go to refill them and they're out. Was it only FBA fulfilled or seller fulfilled? I don't know what that's questioning about, so let me know to clarify on that. This is what I got, and it is from FPSS LLC. I think that's Michelle's. Yes, Michelle agreed to provide a monthly service fee. So I got this email the other day, and I was 13 days ago. Okay, so almost 2 weeks ago. Felt like yesterday. January is kicking my butt in time-wise. Still trying to get Christmas down. Today is the day we're going to finally have Christmas up. I swear, it's like big check mark off. $99 a month. And I don't know if I'll sign up. I might. But $99 a month is going to cover account reactivation, ASIN reinstatement, IP claims, suspected, customer authenticity, etc. She now has a service, and I don't know quite all the ins and outs of it. I did have a page. Let me see here. Can you guys see that? Did that cross over? Yeah, perfect. And it has an outline of the fee structure, monthly services, what the services are, including all of this. So I'm going to put that link into our thing here. And if there's like a sign up form. If you're interested or want more information, you can reach out. I don't know if I got an affiliate. No, I'm not an affiliate. But that is the Michelle that we worked with. That was amazing. So if you want to use her for anything, if you have a really hard issue, that's who I would
recommend her as well.
Yeah, she was amazing. Okay, let me see what other pictures I got here. Oh, okay. So my husband and I, we've had some pretty big debates over cream. I call it cream of crap. I do not allow cream of crap stuff in my house. If you cook with cream of crap, that's up to you. I'm not going to hate on you, but it's kind of like Crocs. I don't think it's not my cup of tea. We'll leave it there. Anyhow, I was at the store and they had cream of bacon and cream of shrimp. And I'm like, this is getting damn ridiculous. What is going on? However, as a reseller, you think of this stuff and you go, how could I make a bundle out of cream of stuff?
Yeah, the more gross or the more crazy like this, I always look at this as opportunity. And then sometimes these odd flavors can be regional.
I don't know. I just it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyhow, so I thought I'd share that with you. I gotta Google it on eBay, search it on eBay to see.
So that was at your grocery store?
Yeah, I was at my grocery store. I needed to get one of the recipes my daughter loves, my son hates, is you take on the cheaper side chunk of beef, and you take a beef consomme and a beef broth can from Campbell's, and you just dump it on top of the meat and you slow cook it all day. So I'm like, perfect. Me and her are here this week, and I'm going to do that tomorrow.
I want to buy you a can of each and mail it to you now.
No.
I absolutely want to do that.
It'd be fun words.
The friend I am.
Those soups are gross, but if it's
agreed. I agree with you, Melissa. I agree. I don't have to like or love anything that I sell. If somebody wants to buy it, I will buy it and sell it to them at a profit.
All right. What is this? The company you put on the Google Drive only allows 2 incidents a year. Okay. Honestly, if you have more than 2 incidents a year, you're probably not doing business very well. I don't think I've ever had more than 2. In fact, including this last year's suspension, out of 10 years of reselling, I think that makes maybe number 6 out of 10 years of incidences that I've had. and everything
Had to
from
have a lawyer for, you mean?
to hire a
Yeah.
lawyer for. Then the other thing I just wanted to add, because I was taking pictures last night, is
the bird flu.
the bird flu is causing egg prices to go skyrocket.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're complaining about egg prices, it's because I know over in Eastern Washington, they had to put down about 10,000 birds because of the bird flu. So this is like a real big issue. You're going to start seeing
affecting some cattle. I want to say that I saw on the news
in Canada. I don't know if he lived. I'd have to search it up. But they had the first case that the avian flu crossed over to humans. So I follow the news for a lot of different reasons, right? For one, my own information, but also for reselling. Like I'm following the fires because that's
this fire situation is tragic. And for any of you watching that do happen to be in the Los Angeles area, I do hope you are safe. And of course, I'm your neighbor here in Vegas. I imagine some people have family here and will be driving over. But this situation in California is devastating. Since the wind is blowing towards the ocean, it's not blowing into the Las Vegas Valley, which oftentimes when California does have fires, our skies are horrible here. But you wouldn't even know there's California fires in Las Vegas, being in Vegas this time because of the way the wind is blowing. But it seems to be worse than the Maui situation. It's terrible. And some people don't even have fire insurance on their homes because it's too expensive, and some insurance weren't covered because of they're in that fire area. Weren't even offering fire insurance, I believe. It's horrible.
So a couple of things here. April says the LA fires. Look what happened in
Lahaina. Yeah,
like a bomb went off. It's so horrible. And then Brooklyn says if you sell branded products, 2 strikes per year is not abnormal. 2 strikes a year that you can't handle on your own. 9 times out of 10, you upload your documents and you move on. It's not a big deal. This service is for things that you need help with. So, and I sold branded products for years and years and still do. So I often watch the IP alerts and all of that.
Most times I can put out my own fires on Amazon, but sometimes I definitely do need that extra help.
I'm just saying if you run an IP type alert on your an add-on, then 2 strikes per year is on the high side. Now I don't again know your volume. If you're selling 100,000 a month, then probably then that's pretty, probably 2 a year is not abnormal. If you're selling 10 to 30,000 a month, then 2 strikes a year is on the higher side. I would say you need to watch what you're reselling.
So Isabella says she's in Southern California, and it's heartbreaking. It is, Isabella. I'm glad you're safe, and I'm so sorry about your friend. And I'm assuming your friend has family also in the LA area and has someplace safe to go, and hopefully had time to be able to pack up her sentimental belongings. I thought about that. If I was here and I knew fire was coming and had even an hour to prepare, what would I grab in that time frame? Immediately I'm always thinking of, your kids' baby albums and those things that you can't replace. My furniture, I don't care. But I definitely want all of those things that are just so irreplaceable. And when I think of these celebrities, for them, some people might think, oh, well, they're so rich and that's probably their third home, second home. But they, I also thought, but some of these celebrities have artworks, right? Like if you think they bought Picassos and things that are irreplaceable, what about awards or things that they've had from their careers and whether rich, poor, and in between, it's devastating.
Yeah. And rich people still have feelings and stuff too.
Absolutely.
Do I cry over them? No more than I do over everybody else.
That's right.
It's bad. Now, what is Nate talking about? Nate being careful.
Pomona? I don't know. I think he's talking about fires and
fires.
Andrea, I understand this sentiment right now about your brain width is not big enough to deal with Amazon. I have been there many times over the last several months, my friend. Sometimes you just got to walk away.
Yeah. And that's definitely okay. I do things that kind of shut my brain off. And this is funny. This is the next and the last picture I have. But I often preach consistency over intensity on all the things you do, whether your goal is to pay off bills or lose weight or like I'm going to be working on my garden this year and some other things around the house. So consistency over intensity. And you got to balance the consistency and the hard work. And then they said what you really need is consistency, hard work, and rest.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Having fun, whatever, just a break from it all. Now I had sent you some links in Messenger.
I got it. Which one you want first?
Yeah. So with
fees or title? Because we could do titles in like 2 seconds. Let's knock out titles and we'll talk about fees.
Okay.
I love how I ask you and then I totally do.
Yes, Amazon's got new fees every year. They just love to add fees on top of the fees.
Right, we're going to talk about titles
year before that.
Titles first.
Oh, I thought you had hit the fee one. My bad.
Okay, hold on. This is titles. So yes. Good news is they are going to 200 characters, and I believe for most categories it was at 150. So that's a good thing. This is pretty self-explanatory. I don't know if y'all can see that, and I can't zoom it in. So special characters, explanation, the money sign, question, some weird other doodads are not allowed in there. So please, 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 don't put weird crud in there. That just always bugs me. I also don't like, have you ever had where people put, instead of a dash, they put the line? That drives me crazy. I think that's a personal thing. This one's going to be huge. Titles may not contain the same word more than twice. Preposition, articles, etc. are exempt. But if you had, love this is a pen Tina got me. It says Dream Crusher. But if you have this and it's like a pink pen, if you have pink pen for office, pink pen for work, that's going to get flagged. It's not good.
Yeah, and not only that, you're wasting space. So exactly. For those of you who do create listings, your title is your most important real estate for keywords in your entire listing. Your bullet points, we put keywords in, our product descriptions, we put keywords in, and we put generic search terms in the back end of our listing. We get lots of places to put keywords. The title is the most important. So why would you want to put pink pen in there twice anyway? Because now the second pink pen could have been gift, women, teacher, you could be using other keywords in place of that. So this change is actually a decent change.
Yeah, I don't have any problems with this. This goes live on the 21st, January 21st. So you may want to take a look at your products, make sure that you're all good
right.
to go.
Now, what I'm curious about is for those of us who are on listings that other people created, as you know, when you didn't create the listing, Amazon just doesn't allow you to update it. So is Amazon going to open up some vortex loophole that does allow us sellers that are currently on that listing to update it when the original listing creator maybe is no longer on that listing or even has it in their account anymore? So that's going to be interesting. What will happen to the listings that don't get updated that we as sellers on that listing have no control over?
The fee for not keeping enough inventory is the low inventory fee. I'm going to pull up the matrix on it. Yeah, low inventory fees. I'm going to pull up the matrix on it. I can't remember. There were some big key points.
Yeah, so the low inventory fee, in case you know or don't know, I'm not sure. You're not charged like this monthly fee like you are a storage fee. You are charged a fee at the time of sale of the item if you had low inventory at that time. So it's like, 30 cents extra, 60 cents extra that Amazon is keeping because you had low stock. So it's not some perpetual fee that you're charged, on what you have at Amazon until you get more in there. I do want to at least make that clear. And it is an average of your last what is it, 27 days of
Okay.
it's been a while since we covered it. My goal is to always keep 3 months of inventory in stock at all times. Seemed to be the magic formula. That's what I was doing prior to my deactivation. So if you sold 20 in a month, try to keep 60 in stock, was what I was doing, because it gives leeway of as it's selling, the shipment time going in. So it always stays heavily filled.
I think we dismissed it because it said the low inventory fee will not apply to any products that have sold less than 20 units in 7 days.
Okay.
So really, you got to have something that's moving more than 80 a month. And so for a lot of people that do replens and stocking, like, you're going to be on top of it if it sells 80 a month.
Yeah.
Really. You're going to be able to keep up with that. So we didn't dive into the more particular items that were that. I have some seasonal items which are fast moving during the sprint and summer, so I'm trying to figure out the most cost effectives. Yeah, you know what? I'll put this article in there, but I want to say it was over. There was a time period too. It has links to go and see where your other things are too. And I know what you mean. If you sell Easter baskets and the week before Easter, you sell 300 baskets, but you're not going to sell any in October. There was a ratio. It's like the average over 3 months or something like that. I can't remember the time frame, but it was particularly to zone out any of those seasonal ones. Okay, let's talk about other fees. Yeah, exactly. All right. Amazon fee change for 2025. Oh my God, I'm not ready for 2025 and we're here already. I don't know about writing it. Not that I write the date anymore. I think I've written the date. We don't write checks anymore. We don't write anything with the date anymore. So, all right, fee changes. This is off of Seller Labs. Oh, I want to bring up I'll bring that up in another thing. As I'm going to have you talk about fees, I'll bring it up. But Inventory Lab, Threecolts, the new bundleable thing. I want to talk about that too.
Yeah, I have that also in our notes there. So these are the fees right here. I liked the Seller Lab article on it because they made it simple, nice, easy to understand photo. So they have bulky item fee reduction. So that's a reduction in fees. So lower placement fees for oversized items. So they're going to give you some reduced costs there. And I have clients I work with who sell bulky items. So for this is going to be great. The bad fees are the multi-channel fulfillment fees. That's going up 3.5%, but units under 1 pound stay unchanged. So the small and light basically type items are less. So the multi-channel fulfillment, I used to use this quite a bit when I had items at FBA. I would have something cross-listed on eBay, and then I would go into Amazon and fulfill that order to my eBay customer out of my Amazon inventory. So if any of you do things like that, that fee is going up. One that is positive is the last one, a new ASIN incentive. So if you are somebody who creates your own listings, there is going to be no inbound fees for new ASINs under the FBA New Selection Program. Now, some of you watching don't know about the New Selection Program. When we were doing our bundles course, I made a really great video on the New Selection Program. It's something that I really never talked about on our YouTube show. But if you go into your Amazon account and type in FBA New Selection Program, you get a wealth of benefits, deductions, free storage fees for like up to 50 units of your items. You get a lot of perks. And then you can see at the end of the year how much money you saved because of being registered in FBA New Selection. That is only for new ASINs that you created the listing for. So I just want to make that clear. But definitely search it in the help bar, read up about it. It's a fantastic program and it costs you nothing.
All right. Is it?
So these are fees coming in the April 1st. So storage fees, I don't know what does AWD stand for again?
Amazon
Yeah, I can't
warehouse
remember.
distribution.
Oh, yeah. So when Amazon is wanting you to sign up for this, I'm not part of that program. I think most people are not, but if you are part of this, it's a program they've been pushing for a while. They are giving you some deductions for being part of Amazon's. It's where Amazon Warehouse Distribution, I think is what it stands for.
Yeah, Amazon warehouse distribution.
And so this is not for every FBA seller. It's only if you opt into this program.
I have not heard anything good. I have one
Yeah.
client that they keep like promoting this, and I'm going, it's basically like if you were going to go do Alibaba, and your manufacturer wanted you to do 3,000 units, but your storage limitations at Amazon were only like 1,000 units. Where do you put those other 2,000 units? You could have a third party, or you could do this AWD.
Yeah.
Potatoes.
My clients who have warehouses that they work with some of them have looked into this and told me that they're getting a better deal with their current warehouse situation. So that's all I can speak upon, because I personally have not done it.
Yeah, it comes down to how much it's going to cost you to ship things over, and then once you get them over, like, where do you store them? And some people have space in their garage, and then they're just going to ship out cases here and there. And then some people do third parties. Some places like doing this AWD. I don't really like it. I mean, I don't trust it. Is there anything else in here that we need to
Nope,
talk
that was
about?
it. So it wasn't like last year where there was all kinds of fees that were coming out throughout the entire year. What would have been nice is at the beginning of the year, when they told about those fees and what they were going to be rolling out, would have been nice if they warned us about bundle deactivations were coming up.
Hi, Ryan. Nice of you to join us. I was just going to say hi to him. And anybody else we missed saying hi?
Yeah, hi, Ryan. I haven't seen you in a while.
New names. Okay, let's talk about this. This is going to be some big news. It's beginning in February. Threecolts is introducing Seller 365. With
This is
365,
a really good deal.
It's going to be $69 a month, the cost of Inventory Lab. So that is nuts.
What's good about it is because you're getting Tactical Arbitrage with it, because Tactical Arbitrage, the most basic plan, was always $99 a month, I believe. And then Inventory Lab. So getting those two together is a good deal. I really think there's so much competition out there now with all of these different softwares that and all, we can't all have all the softwares, we can't afford them all, and you're never going to use them all. And I think the competition is getting a little bit more fierce out there. And now with Seller Board allowing you to create Amazon shipments within Seller Board, and they're only $19 a month. That's a lot cheaper than Inventory Lab. It doesn't do all the same things, but still, some people don't care about that. You also have another software, I used to use them, I can't remember their name. They are pricier, but you can also do shipments with them. So there's just getting to be more competition, and I think they're having to lower their pricing a bit.
The thing with this one is you're going to get the repricer.
Mm-hmm.
I like the repricer.
Cool if you wanted to cut out, a software.
Yeah. I like the repricer. I like the analytics. I don't know what Seller Running is. I have not played with that one. Scout IQ comes with Inventory Lab. Scout X and Scoutify, that's all with Inventory Lab. So I'm not quite sure why that's, anyhow, it's there. And then Tactical Arbitrage will be the big one. So I don't know. This was just announced on X. It is not officially on Threecolts website. I just looked. So we'll see. We'll see. That might be really good. And if it's the same price, if you're using Inventory Lab and you plan on paying for Inventory Lab, getting the extra stuff is just nice. All right. Let's see here. Getting ready to watch Baker and the Bucks. Tina, let me know if you'd like me to come on the show. Yeah, we'd love you to come on the show.
I've told him many times, he's like, I cuss too much. So I guess I finally broke him down.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if we get flagged and don't get monetized for it, I don't care. I mean, whatever. And
He'll be
that's
good.
the worst. Like, I think that's the worst YouTube,
He
because there's a
can,
lot of other channels that have cursing on it.
yes, he can be good.
I do market it for not children because I figured like sometimes we're talking about your girlies and stuff, so
I did.
we not be for children. So I mean, it's basic anatomy. Anyhow, I digress. So Seller 365 will be interesting. We'll see how that goes. And Ryan, yeah, get with Tina and just schedule him on for whatever Sunday at 4:00 works for you.
Yeah. So at this time, yeah. All right. I'll definitely message you, or you message me. All right. So Melissa says, because this is another one that really ticked me off since we're on the talking about fee changes and this topic. What about the manufacturer price reimbursements? They have some nerve of losing my stock and then make me lose also. I know that this one really is something else. So, and then they get to determine what the manufacturing cost. It's a combination of their own estimated costs based on comparable products. So they get to decide that. What I'm curious is if you are a brand owner and you're a registered brand on Amazon and you are the manufacturer, can you give them a manufacturing cost so they have to reimburse you what you say, or are they still just going to pull a number out of their hat and say, yep, it's worth $3?
No, they do it because it was this line right here. I dug into this when it came out. This estimate is based on a comprehensive evaluation of comparable products sold on Amazon by other sellers and through the wholesale channels. That's BS, absolute BS, because I could be selling a really nice high-end coloring book, and then they're going to take coloring books in general, and they're going to find all sorts of crummy ones from China that are manufactured for 20 cents, and yours takes $2, and then they're going to use that 20 cents to calculate, which is absolutely stupid. I don't know if there was a spot where you could actually send them the invoice of what you paid for it. This to me is probably the biggest one and may trigger some sort of FTC type of regulation. Because here's the thing. Amazon has been known that if you are selling, we'll just take this. This is an Alibaba product. I can tell it's an Alibaba product. I bought it. I love it. I'm trying to do drinks and get away from the soda pop. So I'm making like the lemonades and the stuff and the drink. Anyhow, I know it's an Alibaba product. But if Amazon sees that it is doing really well, they will take that product ID, they will look at where you sourced, they will ask for invoices and stuff, and then they will go and do it themselves and then suppress your listing and take over the sales. And they do that. They have whole departments that are trying to figure out what is good for them to sell, and that's where it's a conflict of interest. You cannot sell and compete with people that are you're selling spots to compete with you. It's just, that's where they're going to get in big trouble, and we'll see. Maybe they get broken up, or I don't know. I don't know what the Congress.
We will all find out as the year goes on what begins to happen.
I mean, just like I don't want to say worried, but they had their new Shein Temu platform. What's it called again? Good golly,
I can't remember what Amazon.
I can't remember either.
I know, because it's so new, and I've not even gone on it. I don't even care about it.
But basically now they're wondering if Shein and Temu are going to kind of be pushed out because it's basically on Amazon now in that form. So some people really love the app of Temu and Shein. I don't really like using the app. It's got too many free things.
Yeah.
So we'll see. What else do we got for today? Because I think I'm out of links.
I think that was all that I had sent you as well for us to cover. We had talked about quickly covering for bundles and making sure you get like a G10 exemption for the brand, so you're correctly listing under the brand, and you were able to recently just get this done. And so I think that was really the last point that we were going to touch upon.
Yes. So I do want to dive in more into the particulars in our bundle group, because it has more to do with that. But I had a brand, and we'll just use my Visine because it's sitting here. So let's pretend this Visine was not on Amazon. I was able to get brand approved to list the Visine with the UPC code. Now this doesn't have a UPC code on it, but pretend it did have a UPC code. I used that UPC code and I asked, and I now have permission to use that brand. Where it comes into play, or where I now need to decide, is if I have this Visine, do I want to list it as a single unit, a 3-pack, a 6-pack? How do I want? Because I can only use that UPC code once, because for each bundle, it's going to want me to have a different UPC code, right? So now I gotta make that listing, and I gotta figure out how I want to use that UPC code. But it was not very hard. I got it on the first try, and it was within about 3 hours. And I think I did that on Friday, so pretty quick. And all I did was I laid out all of the Visines, and I think I had 5 or 6. I'm debating between a 5-pack and a 6-pack on the item. So I laid them all out. I took one picture up front. I kind of held, had my hand in the photo. You always want your photo, like you want a little bit of it, room on the top, little on the bottom. And then I flipped everything over and had the back. And then I had my, again, having my hand in there, and was approved. Now I am working with a client that was doing kind of similar, but her logo, I believe it's getting rejected because it's in cursive. It's a pretty font. And I said, I'm 90% sure that it's getting denied because your private label brand logo is in cursive. And I don't think the Amazon reps, they can barely speak English. I don't think they can read cursive, and they're probably young, and young people can't read cursive.
Yeah,
either.
A lot of times I'll tell people to point at your brand. Like if it was this Topo Chico, I will say point at the brand with your finger, and in your message to Amazon say, I am pointing at my brand name. And in her case, it is written in cursive, but you will see it spells out, XYZ, whatever their brand is. Yeah. And that's usually my go-to tactic when they say the branding isn't clearly on the packaging. It's not, and it's like, yes, it's right there, right there.
Right there. I honestly think they can't see because it's like really scripty.
Very squirrely, right? And that's why you could maybe, explain that.
She's one of those crafty people that has a Cricut. So I said, go put it in some bold font, some bold,
redo it,
regular font, and redo your logo for this one thing to get approved. And but we'll see. We'll see what she does.
Times have changed.
Is it okay to make a bundle with the brand name? That's a good question, April. If the way the new bundle policy is if you are making a bundle and it's a majority, let's say I had 3 Visine bottles and an eye mask. Clearly, the main brand is Visine. They want the brand to be under Visine. Now we're starting to get into a little gray area because now I've bundled it with an eye mask, but just a 3-pack of Visine. They would love to have the bundle have a UPC from the manufacturer, but that's where it's a gray area. 'Tis a gray area. I happen to know the brand in particular, so I have one of those LOAs from it as well, so I'm not worried about it because I have a letter of authorization and it will be under the brand name, which we did learn.
With the G10 exemption, not with the UPC.
No, I'm doing it with the UPC.
Oh, with the UPC.
Yeah. And instead of the
UPC already in Amazon's catalog, or
no, that's how I got That's how I got in, is because it's not in the catalog. So I applied and they let me in.
Okay.
So then I could either list it as a single. I can only use the UPC once, so I've got to decide.
That's right. How you want to use it. Yeah.
It all gets, if you all are confused, it is very confusing, and I do wind up explaining it a lot to both clients and to Amazon. And to Amazon. Hey, if I did learn some things on Walmart this week, though. I had a call with an account manager at Walmart that does their campaigns over at Walmart. So if anybody does campaigns on Walmart, this is for you. I did find it interesting that they do not have negative keywords in their campaigns, and they also don't allow you to target other things that are like yours price range. So let's say you were selling purses and your purse was in the $60 range. You know how when you go into Amazon advertising, you can say, okay, I want to target purses that are ranged, whatever, $50 to $70. And then that way you're not getting hit up against, advertising to the $200 purses and not the $5 purses.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have that either. Anyhow, I spent like an hour on the Zoom with this account manager lady, and I have to say it was probably an hour wasted. I was not impressed. She talked complete Dilbert talk, complete garbage talk. It was all like if you just took all the corporate mumbo jumbo words and put them in, and that was how it was. And we got off the phone, and I'm like, oh my gosh. He's like, yeah, I'm so sorry for wasting your time. He's like,
oh no.
I said I got a couple nuggets of information, but not a whole lot. That was pretty bad.
So Melissa says, honestly, you ladies motivate me to continue. Any advice when feeling defeated by mistakes done when reselling? I appreciate your lives. Thank you, Melissa. And yes, because I was defeated for months this last year when I lost my account. So in the beginning, I was just like, okay, it happened, because we always know the thing can happen, right? Whether it is that you got an IP complaint, you got a counterfeit claim, you got deactivate, whatever the thing, we all know these things exist, and we all know that one day it can happen to us, despite us really following the rules to the best of our ability, right? This can happen to any of us. No one is exempt from this happening. So I think for me, when it happened, did I like it? No. But I told myself, you always knew that this could happen. And I think kind of having a plan already in your mind, it's like your exit strategy, right? A lot of women definitely have these like exit strategies in their life. Like if things go south, I got to have a backup plan of where I'm going to move, where I'm going to, like how I'm going to survive, right? So kind of like that in business. So luckily for me, for the last, I would say almost 2 years, I had already been really slowly working on my other revenue streams. I already had Mercari, Poshmark. Right? I had them in place. Did I use them much? No, but I had them and I knew how to list on them. I had eBay, so I had that. I had Amazon and I have Walmart. I also do coaching and I do ad management for people's accounts. Now, this year for 2025, I'm now adding in Amazon influencer. I have Amazon Associates, but I also applied and got approved for Amazon Influencer, which will allow me to make videos for brands and their products and put them on Amazon or TikTok. So I'm always adding these little things. I have KDP, I have merch. Can I manage and do all of them? Of course not. Something's always going to get the most of your time. For me, it was mostly coaching and Amazon. So I definitely have those. Well, when I lost Amazon, while it sucked, I was like, okay, you can go get a job, or you can pull your big girl pants on and put your energies into one of these other platforms that you have. You have them. You know how to pick up stuff to resell. You know how to make a listing. Just do it. And that's what I did. In the meantime, I also knew I have all this Amazon inventory. What am I going to do with it? Some of this stuff is not going to sell on eBay or Poshmark. It's not the audience. It's not the platform, right? Every platform, there's like a little bit of a different audience. I had to find a way to sell it, how to move it. And I think I went into fight or flight mode, because for me, I was put in a position of survival. I have to survive. And then having good friends around you. I had good reseller friends. I had a support group with Lucy and some other deactivated sellers where we could cry our woes with one another. Like, what are you guys doing? What are some ideas? And then I had my friends who weren't deactivated, who offered their tips, and they were in a sane place in their life, right? Because they weren't going through what I was going through. So having an army of reseller friends around you is so beneficial.
Yes, and we are going to continue to be friends with all those said people, and everybody goes through lots of different things. There's one gentleman in there that had stuff stolen from an employee and found it on Facebook Marketplace. So that's kind of the drama this week. And Tina and I were like, show us where to show up, man. We will go down there and back you up, because that's messed up. They stole his stuff and now they're selling it on Facebook. But you know, Tina and I, we get on here and we talk about Amazon and the ins and outs of reselling and the platforms, because it is all changing. There's constantly things going on. There's constant updates, and they're not super duper intuitive. And that's how we both kind of really started, is to help each other out, because there's things that happen on there and you're like, where is this button? How do I fix XYZ? So we're here to help on those. But we all have.
Sometimes I knew and I could help Lucy. She's like, oh my God, thank you. I didn't know how to do that. And same on the other hand, you know, sometimes I didn't know. And Lucy's like, oh yeah, I just had to do that. You do it this way. And it's like, oh my God, thank you. Because I was messing with this for 3 hours and you helped me get it done in 15 minutes. So
we all have stuff going on outside of our lives. And so this show is not meant to like dive into all the things. Like we talk about our coaching stuff when it applies to reselling and what we've learned, but there's a lot of other things going on in that realm. I have, you know, my family life is always changing and stuff. So I've got a lot going on there. And then we have different life goals and stuff. You know, my husband and I, we are kind of planning on retiring at 55 and doing traveling permanently. So we are gearing our lives up to be nomads and not be tied to a house. And while that might apply to a lot of people here, that's not the premise of my channel. So, you know, strategically lining myself up in that realm is something that I do, but I don't speak about it here. April says, are you going to get letters from now on with the brand? If I am truly going to go into business with said brand, yes. Right now, I am getting my warehouse cleared out. I got to be out of the warehouse sometime in April. I gotta nail down that date. I also need foot surgery, so I'm trying to nail that down. That's another long story. See, I mean, you guys just don't know everything about what's going on. So there, you know, I might be doing something because of reasons you don't even know about. But I've got to have my foot, the bone shaved down on my foot, which is not going to be fun. Anyhow, and I also got to get out of this warehouse. My building got sold, and now I've got new owners, and the whole thing is a mess, and I'm just so done with them. And my husband goes, I call him the front office, starts with a B, but it's not an appropriate word. Anyhow, he's like, did the front office blurb get laid off too? And I said, I don't know. I don't wish them ill, but I definitely don't want to deal with them. Anyhow, so I've got my warehouse and I'm trying to get things reset up to sell on one of the whatever platform makes sense for it, and then kind of figure out which equipment is going to come home, which equipment is going to be sold. And then we can talk for just 2 seconds here, but then we got to wrap it up. Tina and I are putting together our goals for 2025, so that will probably be next week's topic. And in general, we're going to kind of work on different income streams. And for YouTube, we are going to talk about those different income streams once a month. We're going to try and have more interviews once a month. And then also the news that we've been doing on all the platforms, keep that in. So we're working on a layout for in a month. It might be an interview one day, and then how we did a KDP book or something like that. And then, reselling news, and then pick a fourth topic depending on how we rotate that. So that's what we're kind of putting together for YouTube. YouTube will be main in there for 2025. And then my goal, and kind of Tina's too, I think, is to do more things that are set up that will bring passive income that don't have quite so much issues with the IP and the bundles. So I will be going more towards the Alibaba route and the private label route, whether that's US companies or Chinese companies or Mexican companies. I am not sure. Probably leaning more towards Mexico because yo hablo un poquito. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And then that's what we want to share with you guys this year coming up. So I hope you all are interested, and I hope this Sunday time works for everybody.
And then for those of you who watch my channel, on Wednesday, I will have a show every Wednesday at 10 a.m. West Coast time. So that will be 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock East Coast time every Wednesday. And it will alternate between the She-Commerce show that I do with Nicole, where we talk a lot about eBay. And then it will alternate the next week, the following Wednesday, where we do our Walmart Wednesday show. So I do Amazon mainly with Lucy here, and then I do a bit of eBay and a bit of Walmart. And so definitely subscribe on my channel if you haven't for those weekly Wednesday shows if you're interested.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, it was lovely seeing everybody here today. I hope everybody has a great week coming up. And yeah, thanks for joining us, Liz. Aw, thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. April, nice seeing you. Both Aprils today, right? We had both Aprils.
We're here today.
And Melissa and Money Mom and Melissa DeVarte and Nate and Reno. Thank you for joining us.
Brooklyn. Yeah, so many people were here today and participating, and I love it.
Brian, too.
So much more fun. And as always, we appreciate you being here. And please like and subscribe to our channels if you watch on one or the other. And we appreciate you all.
Yes. All right.